A seasoned veteran, after surviving a brutal war, decides to return to his homeland. He walks from Laos, crossing unimaginable distances to return to Moscow. Along the way, passing through a small town, he inadvertently violates an unwritten local law. If I ask a question, you answer. Two low-ranking police officers in uniform stop him and demand identification. While one searches his belongings, he seems to notice something hidden in the veteran's jacket. The man quickly lifts his jacket to reveal a dagger. Both officers panic. What is this? A knife. I have a permit to carry it, the man calmly replies. Despite the man's affirmation that he has a permit, the two officers still demand he surrender the knife. Upon inspecting it, they realize it is a kukri knife used by the Nepalese army. Offering no further explanation, they handcuff him. Looking around to make sure they are alone, one officer hits him with a bat. Unbeknownst to them, the man's quick reflexes easily allow him to dodge. The fat officer charges, intending to strike, but the man leans to the right while simultaneously pushing the other officer to the ground. Realizing they are no match for him, the two pull out their guns and force the man into the car. Not wanting to make things difficult for them, he calmly turns and steps inside. But just then, the fat officer swings his bat hard against his back. The man doesn't make a sound, only looking at him with deadly eyes. These two officers have no idea that they will pay dearly for their actions. Brought back to the station, they confiscate all his belongings and handcuff him again. To call this a police station is to call it a den of robbers. They deliberately disrupt public order and collect protection money from the people, which they then share with their accomplices. Just then, a captain walks into the interrogation room and asks the man why he refuses to answer his questions. The man doesn't reply. The captain delivers a blow with his bat. The man lets out only a muffled groan. I didn't expect this guy to be so stubborn. This only fuels the captain's aggression. He swings the bat at the man's face, his voice tight. You are only allowed to look me in the eye when given permission. Who are you? The man looks at him scornfully. He's never seen anyone more arrogant. A rain of blows descends upon the man. Still unsatisfied, the captain pulls out a stun baton. Unable to endure it any longer, the man lunges at the captain and performs a sweep kick, bringing the officer down. Just as the captain is about to fly into a rage, other officers rush in to intervene. Little does he know that his life is hanging by a thread. They are summoned to the deputy director's office. Seeing the sharp kukri knife, the ignorant leader asks him, "Why did you bring this kind of knife into our town?" The man simply replies with one word, "The enemy." The leader finds this amusing. Just then, the pot-bellied director enters the office. The director is the only one in the entire police station who possesses any sense. He orders the man's handcuffs removed and examines his identification papers. It turns out the man's name is Samanov, a major in the special forces. Hearing this name, the inexperienced police officers nearly wet their pants, regretting their previous actions. The director immediately orders his subordinates to return all of Samanov's belongings. They thought everything was settled, but the director then picks up Samanov's MP3 player and starts listening to music. This foolish act nearly leads to the annihilation of the entire police station. Samanov walks out of the office and bumps into a beautiful girl. He feels like he has met her somewhere before. Not long after leaving the gate, Samanov suddenly remembered he left his MP3 player in the director's office. I can't lose this treasure. Whenever I'm sad, I rely on it to lift my spirits. He immediately returns to the office and witnesses the director harassing the girl from earlier. Seeing the girl huddled in the corner, looking helpless, Samanov stands frozen. Although he doesn't want to interfere in other people's affairs, he still picks up his MP3 player, pulls out the cable, and wraps it tightly around the device. The director approaches, while Samanov holds the MP3 player clamped between his index finger and middle finger, slowly turning around. The Russian Maroon Bay Special Forces truly live up to their fearsome reputation. This blow carries at least several tens of kilograms of force. The chief of police, who weighs over 200 pounds, lies helpless on the floor. Samanov strikes him one more time on the forehead. The chief of police collapses. Samanov knows what to do next. He picks up the ashtray, pulls out the phone cable, doesn't forget to take the chief's lighter, and pulls the distraught girl out of the office. He walks out calmly as if nothing happened. An officer tries to enter the room to check, but Samanov pulls the ashtray from his pocket. The moment the officer opens the door, the ashtray hits him straight on the head. Seeing Samanov holding the phone cable, the officers in the station finally snap out of their daze. They see Samanov trying to leave and pull out their guns to stop him, but the phone cable end is thrown, stunning them. Samanov quickly takes down the remaining officers. The beautiful girl stares in shock. How could these petty officers be a match for a Special Forces veteran? Before leaving, Samanov makes sure to dismantle all the weapons in the police station, then pulls the girl outside. But they don't know the back exit and accidentally stumble into the officers' break room. The officers there are the same ones who provoked Samanov. He pushes the girl out, determined to teach these scumbags a lesson. This is a real-life demonstration of the diminished capacity attack. These inexperienced officers can't even last one round. Another young officer, seeing the chaos, tries to intervene, but Samanov locks his arm, rotates him 360 degrees, flips him 180 degrees, and slams him to the ground. Samanov continues to pull the girl to the bottom of the stairs. They run into the deputy director. Before the deputy director can understand what is happening, Samanov delivers a swift kick to the groin and punches him directly in his right temple. He charges straight through. No one can withstand 3 of Samanov's moves. He doesn't want to kill these men, otherwise, with the techniques he used on the battlefield, no police officer would survive. Outside, Samanov even politely lights a cigarette for an officer and gives him the chief's lighter. Tears still stream from the girl's eyes. On the road, she is extremely tense. She knows that she has caused a catastrophe. If I'm caught, those rotten police officers will surely torture me to death. She tells Samanov, "You need to leave town quickly. Don't worry about me." At the same time, the captain wakes up. The first thing he does is call his team to hunt Samanov. He has never endured such a great humiliation. He must regain his lost honor. The girl doesn't want to implicate Samanov any further. Seeing a police officer rushing towards them, she pushes him to the ground. Seeing the girl stubbornly refusing to leave, and with the police cars closing in behind them, Samanov has no choice but to speed away. Police cars cling to their trail. They are determined to take down Samanov, firing their weapons wildly. Samanov weaves to avoid the bullets. Seizing the right moment, he executes a spectacular maneuver and turns onto a small road. The police pursue relentlessly, but their marksmanship is terrible. They keep missing their target. Samanov drives off a cliff. Mid-air, he leaps from the motorcycle onto a bulldozer. The captain fires all his rounds, then pulls out his pistol. Finally, he empties his pistol without hitting a single shot. With this level of marksmanship, it's a mystery how he became a police officer. Just as he's about to get back in his car to retreat, the bulldozer slams into his car, crushing the front hood. Samanov controls the bulldozer, scooping the car with the bucket. The captain immediately orders the driver to reverse. Unexpectedly, a truck suddenly speeds out from behind. The entire police station is thrown into utter chaos by an unknown visitor. After inspecting the scene, the chief of police is terrified. What kind of person did I provoke? His subordinate reports that the man is a Special Forces veteran from the Maroon Beret unit who participated in several top-secret missions, received 2 medals for serving the country, and several other medals for bravery in combat. Meanwhile, Samanov is flying across the mountaintop. He knows he has angered these insects and they will never let him go. If they want to play, let's play until the end. The foolish chief of police doesn't realize that his wrong decision has pushed the entire police station to the brink of death. Let's see how the Maroon Beret veteran countered the entire police station's pursuit without firing a single bullet. Now he is cornered in a ruin in the forest. First, he finds a box of matches, discarded electric cables, rusty nails, and some wooden planks. The police, meanwhile, complain about camping outdoors in the rain to hunt down a criminal. Little do they know that Samanov is secretly crafting weapons. He wraps the nails around the end of the wooden plank with the cable. Finally, he uses a match to burn the cable end to secure it. The trident of the sea god is created quickly. He places them in different positions. Then, he finds a small wooden cabin, searching for anything useful. A circular metal sheet, and a secret passage. Done with his preparations, he takes out his MP3 player, calmly waiting for the enemy. A few days ago, Special Forces veteran Samanov caused chaos in the entire police station by defending a beautiful girl, even killing 2 pursuing officers to cover his tracks. The police set up camp near the area, simultaneously preparing to deploy police dogs and a helicopter. However, the chief of police doesn't dare ask for Special Forces assistance, fearing his own dirty secrets will be exposed. But little do they know, Samanov is monitoring their every move. He has mapped out their attack routes and deployed his tactical plan. By nightfall, 2 arrogant officers drink some brandy and decide to act alone. They plan to use the darkness for a surprise attack, hoping to capture Samanov quickly and claim the glory. Passing through the forest, they spot a fire ahead. It's too easy to find the target. They cleverly turn off their lights, cautiously approaching from behind. "What's the situation inside? Sam, where are you?" The reckless officer, just about to rush in, is hit directly on the forehead by a wooden plank. His comrade rushes over to check and is kicked by Samanov, disarming him. The other man attempts to resist but is hit by a flaming stick and crawls on the ground. Samanov doesn't kill them. He gathers wood and forces them to handcuff each other by the fire. The 2 men's heads are ringing. They don't understand what just happened. Samanov tells them to send a message back to their major. "Tell your major not to look for me anymore." Why? It's unnecessary. Early the next morning, the chief of police discovers the guards have vanished. He has no time to dwell on it and immediately orders everyone to move out. Spotting the wooden cabin, the entire team rushes forward. Opening the door, they find only their own men inside, bruised and battered. The bald man tries to salvage some credit, saying he almost caught Samanov, only to be caught in a trap. Then he whispers to the chief of police, "Tell the colonel not to look for him anymore. It's unnecessary." The chief of police is livid and delivers a mighty slap to his face. To find Samanov quickly, the chief of police orders everyone to form a line and expand their search area. Samanov swiftly weaves through the forest while the police struggle with every step. Suddenly, 2 officers step on animal traps. Samanov immediately grabs the prepared trident, throws it accurately at the target, and quickly changes position. Hearing the commotion, the police officers fire wildly, almost shooting their own men. 3 men are already down. He's fighting us like we're just ants. The police officers realize Samanov's terrifying presence. His shadow seems to be everywhere in the forest. Just as he finishes speaking, a trident flies out of nowhere and pierces an officer. "Everyone chase him. Bob, and you stay here. Why are you just standing there, waiting for Samanov's special instructions? Move it." Seeing the target, the chief of police leads the whole team in pursuit. Samanov is a master of guerrilla warfare. The jungle is his home ground. Very quickly, he vanishes from their sight. After circling back, Samanov returns, taking down the officers guarding the wounded one by one. His actions are quick and decisive. Hearing the commotion, their comrades rush to check. Instead, Samanov disarms them, holds a knife to their throats, forces them to carry the wounded back to the car, and forbids them to return. Clearly, Samanov doesn't want to kill them. Meanwhile, the chief of police leads his team to a narrow log bridge. The deputy chief of police criticizes the chief for not calling in special forces, saying he doesn't value their lives. This comment infuriates the chief even more. He orders the deputy chief to scout the path first. The bridge is made of 2 logs, walking on it is precarious, and a single mistake could send them plunging into the river. Samanov has been waiting there for a long time. Successive shots miss Samanov, so the whole group starts playing hide-and-seek in the forest. The slow and clumsy deputy chief of police is eliminated first. This time, the chief of police is smarter. "If I can't find you, I'll just sit here and wait for you to come to me." Samanov runs into the forest while the chief of police suddenly appears in front of him. It seems he still underestimates this man. Samanov's trident is ready. Just as he throws, the chief's gun fires, hitting himself. The chief of police endures the pain and flees the scene. He's sweating profusely, nearly meeting his maker. Seeing the deadly weapon embedded in his head, he carefully steps across the logs. But he doesn't realize Samanov hasn't run far and is right behind him. This is a fight between guns and knives, between a police officer and a special forces veteran. His right hand holds the gun. His left hand removes the magazine, pulls the slide back, and ejects the bullet. The moment the bullet flies out, Samanov snatches it and delivers a mighty slap to the chief of police. In Russia, never provoke a maroon beret paratrooper. The chief of police is hit so hard, his ear bleeds. "Don't you get it? Have you had enough? Take the wounded away. Forget about me. Pretend I never existed, understand? I'm not joking. If you don't do this, more people will die." The chief of police is arrogantly stubborn, unafraid even with the cookery knife at his throat. Seeing the chief is uncooperative, Samanov punches him unconscious and leaves alone. The chief of police returns, gasping for breath. Someone is waiting for him below the mountain. Already irritated, he sees a man wearing sunglasses acting cool and walks away annoyed. It turns out this man is Colonel Kremen of the Defense Intelligence Agency, Samanov's instructor. No one understands Samanov better than him. Samanov only loses control when something truly extraordinary happens. He advises the chief of police to stop and forget about Samanov. This is Samanov's chance for them to survive. If Samanov wanted to kill, no one would leave this forest alive. The chief of police ignores him and chases Colonel Kremen away. Then he receives news that the helicopter will arrive in 15 minutes. This makes him more confident. He orders everyone to surround the area, anticipating Samanov's appearance at any moment, while he personally goes into the forest to eliminate Samanov. Hearing the sound of the helicopter, Samanov begins to hide. The enemy has air superiority. He can only constantly run, evading the incoming firing. A cliff faces ahead. Without hesitation, Samanov jumps down, landing and reducing his altitude. Don't worry, he's hit. No one survives that. The chief of police is still unconvinced, ordering the helicopter to circle the water surface for several minutes. Only when fuel runs low does it turn back. Samanov doesn't want to kill. "I never thought these men would act so ruthlessly towards me." It can only be said they successfully provoked a beast. After drifting for some time, an old man discovers Samanov on the shore. The old man's kindness saves his life, taking him home. The old man's granddaughter is the same girl Samanov rescued from the police station. Seeing Samanov struggling, the girl feels immense guilt. "It's all my fault that Samanov is so severely injured." The old man removes the bullet from Samanov, and the girl gravely stitches his wound. That evening, Samanov wakes up. To avoid implicating the grandfather and granddaughter, he plans to leave immediately under the cover of darkness. This time, the girl decides to go with him because she has nowhere left to run. If the chief of police finds me, I will surely die. However, Samonov's health is very poor. To ensure safety, the two decide to rest one night in a nearby thatched hut. The next morning, uninvited guests arrive at the old man's house. They are armed and look menacing. The old man doesn't welcome them, but is shot by one of the men. These are the escaped criminals the police are hunting. Samonov hears the gunfire. An inevitable fight is about to break out. Before the robber can understand what's happening, he is shot down. At least dying at the hands of a maroon beret paratrooper is not a grievance. But why did they give Samonov, a military king, the chance to massacre them? This is what happened. 5 fierce escaped criminals passed through the small town and broke into the old man's house. They coldly murder the old man. The gunshots startle Samonov, who was recovering in the stables. He gives his dagger to the girl and goes out alone to assess the situation. First, he pretends to be a weakling and blends into the group of robbers. But the girl hiding in the attic is spotted by a blonde man. He winks at the girl, goes out, locks the door securely, and deceives the leader. He then winks at Samonov. Turns out, these men are wanted criminals on the run from the police. They plan to escape by boat, but the boat's engine is broken. Samonov offers to help fix the engine. The leader looks at Samonov's hands, decides he looks like a professional, and agrees, ordering the blonde man and another to guard him. But dismantling the engine requires tools. Samonov intends to use this opportunity to leave and rescue the girl from the stables, but the blonde man stops him. He says he can help him find the tools. Samonov has no choice but to let the blonde man go to the stables. The blonde man calls the girl down from the attic to talk. After a while, he reveals his true nature, but the girl's fierce resistance causes him to lose interest. Angrily, he forces the girl up. In a moment of panic, the girl kicks him in a sensitive spot and takes the opportunity to run to another room. She remembers the dagger Samonov gave her. The blonde man carrying the trident enters. The girl times it right, stabs him in the leg and unleashes a series of quick moves. A girl, who was once kind and gentle with weak arms and legs, is forced step by step onto the path of killing. At this moment, Samonov, having dealt with the other guard, rushes to the stables. He sees the girl with blood on her face. Just then, another robber walks in. Hearing the commotion, Samonov turns around. The 2 men simultaneously grab the gun barrel and kick each other. Although the other man is bigger, he is a novice in combat skills. The robber grabs Samonov, tempting to wrestle him down. Samonov kicks him away. Just as the man picks up a gun, Samonov grabs a nearby sickle and stabs him straight in the heart. Facing these ruthless, inhumane thugs, Samonov shows no mercy, directly entering annihilation mode. He does not hesitate with the robber holding a hostage either. The police and special forces arrive at the scene, seeing the bodies of the 5 robbers. They no longer need to exert effort to capture them. Seeing the kukri knife, the chief of police knows Samonov is still alive. He angrily grabs the girl, demanding to know where Samonov is. Little does he know that Samonov is nearby watching everything. He will pay double for what he is doing to the girl. To force Samonov to appear, the chief of police forces the girl into the car. Just then, Samonov suddenly appears. The chief of police is about to fire, but is pushed by the girl. Turning back, Samonov has disappeared. Hearing the gunshot, the special forces commander appears in time, scolding the chief of police and helping the girl escape torture. This time, the special forces not only failed to capture the 5 escaped criminals alive, but also encountered an even more dangerous individual. Superiors ordered the special forces to capture this terrorist alive. Samonov runs straight to an abandoned building. The commander leads the special forces in pursuit. Samonov no longer wants to fight. He raises his hands against the wall in a gesture of surrender, but the opposition is aggressive, even intending to use a stun gun to capture him alive. Hearing the sound of the electricity, he knows he must act. He is the toughest man of a warrior nation. An entire special forces regiment cannot defeat him. No special forces soldier can withstand 3 of his moves. Just then, the special forces commander rushes in. At such close range, with a pistol aimed at him, no matter how fast he is, he cannot be faster than a bullet. So he throws the AK rifle off his body into the water, preparing to surrender. Unexpectedly, the commander holsters his weapon, saying that the superior's order is to capture him alive. Perhaps the commander overestimates himself. He attacks, and surprisingly, a man ranked among the top fighters in the special forces is taken down instantly. He doesn't even have a chance to resist. Samonov easily parries the punches and hooks, then delivers a powerful blow to the commander's chest, stunning him. Another punch. The commander tries to use a move to lock Samonov's position, but Samonov counters, sending him tumbling. The commander pulls out his pistol, but realizes Samonov has stolen his grenade. Samonov doesn't want to harm innocent people, so he rescues the commander, who has fallen into the water, escaping through a sewage pipe. But the chief of police will not let Samonov go. This is his territory, and he knows every corner. The sewage pipe only has one exit. The chief of police leads his subordinates to tightly surround the exit. Soon, Samonov appears. But these guys are terrible shots. Despite their numbers, no one manages to hit him. Samonov rushes at full speed into the small wooden cabin. Both sides fight fiercely. But there's a strange phenomenon. The gun barrels smoke heavily, but the wooden planks of the house are intact, without a scratch. Is this house made of granite?
Seeing that they can't take down Samanov, the chief of police grabs a bazooka and fires straight at the house. Fire rages fiercely. Looking at the burning wooden cabin, the chief of police confidently says, "It's over. Find his body before dark." Just then, the general visits the Special Forces commander in the hospital. A woman rushes in. It's the girl Samanov always protected. Through the girl's words, the general gradually understands the whole story. The chief of police returns to his office to find Colonel Dimon waiting. He waited for Samanov to leave together because he had a feeling he could only find Samanov by being near the chief of police. "My soldier is gone. All that is left is his music player. Where the body is, the body will be found." Colonel Dimon advises the chief of police to drink more brandy, preferably all of it, so he won't be scared when Samanov returns for his MP3 player.
On the other side, the police discover a secret tunnel. As soon as an officer steps down, a gun is pointed at his face. Handed over. Samanov, wearing a police uniform, calmly walks to the car and takes the driver's phone. As the driver steps out of the car, he hits him with a backhand punch and steals the police car, speeding away. Two officers attempt to chase, but are knocked unconscious by Samanov. The sentry, eating noodles and watching TV, is about to place another bet when the door is suddenly smashed. The target is clear. Samanov heads straight for the chief of police. Outside, the area is surrounded by special forces. Colonel Dimon enters the house and tells Samanov that an entire regiment is waiting for him outside, only missing tanks. He wants to persuade him to surrender and return to Moscow with him. But Samanov will never do that. He cannot bear to see others strangle themselves. Asking me gently how I feel, do I like it? That's the situation for every citizen in this town. We are not ordinary people. We do not live within these walls. We have a responsibility for our lives, for this world. Otherwise, my comrades die for nothing, dying because of these scumbags. Surprisingly, Samanov lets the chief of police go, while he sits calmly inside, preparing to face the special forces. Just then, the general arrives at the scene and orders everyone to retreat. As they are about to arrest the chief of police, his subordinate steps forward and suddenly takes the girl hostage. The chief of police stubbornly believes he is the best, boasting about all he has done for the town. Just then, Samanov emerges from the smoke. Out already? This man only arrived here 3 days ago. Look what kind of mess he has created. Is anyone unhappy? Now I'll find some fun for you. Major, not so fast. Contrary to everyone's expectations, Major Dimon lets the girl go. The small town returns to peace. Receiving orders from Moscow, Samanov and Colonel Dimon return to Moscow together. The girl continues to watch the car carrying Samanov disappear into the distance. The film ends here. The value of a film lies in its reputation, but the value of a film review lies in one's feelings. Today's story concludes here. Thank you for watching the film. What do you think of this film? Please comment below.